Hi there. My name's Tim, and I'm the Product Marketing Director here at Raisin. I'm excited to onboard you to our new onboarding enhancement that we're calling the Superstarter for peer-to-peer. When it comes to Raisin's product roadmap, the biggest and most important of our inputs is the feedback of you, our clients. We're always seeking opportunities to hear and understand what's working for you, what's not working for you, what you'd like to see more of, see less of, what your teams are talking about, what your constituents are talking about. We truly want to know what's going on in your world and how we can continue to build our fundraising platform around it and to improve it. Side note, if you ever have feedback or ideas, let me know. I'd love to hear them. A consistent theme in the last year and a half from you, including last month at the peer-to-peer forum, is the increasing pressure on peer-to-peer event performance and specifically improving engagement around the champions that choose to raise money for your cause. The magical segment in this quest for engagement is the $0 fundraiser, the holy grail or the white whale of peer-to-peer. How can we get the folks who are inspired enough to sign up to fundraise to actually fundraise? In crunching the numbers and in speaking with many of you, there sounds like there's a constellation of reasons for this, but it boils down to one thing: life. Your fundraisers have things going on beyond your cause, and as much as they want to do good, sometimes life just gets in the way. That's where the Superstarter comes in. We're starting their fundraising journey immediately after they've signed up, and when they're most inspired, onboarding them to your cause with the 3 important and proven steps we've seen to raise P2P funds. So let's take a look. Alright, so to start our Superstarter journey here, I've pulled up a peer-to-peer campaign that we call Hobby for the Cause. Now, Hobby for the Cause is like a do-it-yourself campaign, and apart from the content, is really very similar to anything that you might be creating with the peer-to-peer modules on our system. So we have here, just to situate ourselves, there's our social share, counters, call to actions, there's our leaderboard, widgets dropped in, here's our thermometer, so hopefully all things that you're comfortable with and familiar with on the Raisin platform. Now, let's pretend that I am a interested party and I want to get involved and start fundraising. So I'm going to go here, create a page. Now, this campaign we've set up on multi-pledge, so I'm using these as activities. So let's pick a fun activity that I want to get involved in and leverage and use my talents for good. So I'm going to pick wellness and fitness. Lord knows I could use some fitness at this time. Now, I'm going to go through the full sign-up flow, so bear with me as I do and just giving some notes as I go through in real time. But as one of those notes is that the onboarding experience is the same at this time, at least for returning participants and new users. So let's just carry on as a new participant, and we'll accept our waiver. Now, one note too, these little gestures here. It's just content that we've added. Feel free. You can do the same with the website builder throughout the flow. This is not related to the onboarding enhancements. So let's do here. Enter my password. We've also lit up a few DIY specific features. So one of which is an optional fundraising goal. So I'm actually going to be able to skip that, as well as the area of support where I want to direct my funds to. And bear with me as I fill out some of these fields, though we can make things a little faster with the Google Address Autocomplete. Here's another one of those DIY features we've enabled for tribute pages, which could be used for in honor or in memory pages. Let's just check off a few boxes here. Another cool feature here is the referral program. So while not necessarily relevant for a do-it-yourself or third-party campaign like this, certainly can be leveraged in the event context. So start a peer-to-peer season, you want to boost participation among groups. This is a really useful one, and can incentivize referral codes to be shared amongst participants to earn fundraising bonuses. So leveraging the power of word-of-mouth marketing and incentivizing those referrals to referees with a little bit of a fundraising bonus. So everyone gets like their referral code, share that off, get a little bit of a bonus towards your fundraising goal. So a really powerful tool, particularly where there are fundraising minimums. So we're going to skip the additional participant. I don't need it here. Now, here's where we get into one of those initial changes. So we're on the payment page. This is often used, well, to collect payments, but also to promote self-donation. So we have a little bit of the existing content already that we have added through the website builder. So it's talking a little bit about, why should we kickstart the campaign. Where we get into the changes is here in the system content. So if you have a keen eye, you might notice donate to your page. That's different language than what sits on this element today. So we've modified that, made it a little bit more personal. We're speaking to the individual, to the fundraiser, versus just plain self-donation. So point number one. Additionally, down below, there are some, here's a little bit of a sort of a nudge to the fundraiser as to why it is that they should make their donation. So an icon here representing the self-donation badge that they will earn, and some microcopy talking through here are the reasons why you should make a self-donation. All of this is true, right? Self-donors do, or are, I should say, more likely to reach their fundraising goal. And the reasons being, again, are here. It shows your dedication. Pretend, well, let's just think of a donor. I receive an invite to make a donation to my friend's fundraising page. I see that they've made a donation. It is clear to me that they're dedicated to this cause, and I should consider supporting them as well. Additionally, and sort of from a psychological perspective, a self-donation increases your thermometer, and I am more likely to support a campaign that has a little bit of progress. I don't have to be the one that gets you over zero. It's already there. I'm just more inclined to do so. There's a number of psychological mechanisms there. And then as well, there's some cool literature on the peer effect and around how folks might choose to match your support or match the support of others within the same peer group. So tons of reasons why this helps make a peer-to-peer campaign successful. And we're indicating that in the microcopy to fundraisers. So I'm going to actually make my self-donation. And no matter the number of times I enter this fake credit card, I will never get it right. So we'll put in our card information here. And then we've also enabled the cover administrative fee. So that's going to go alongside the $200 donation that I've made. And we've actually pre-checked this box. That's a decision you can make, but what I would definitely suggest is activate this feature for any donation. It is more or less market standard now to do so. Donors are kind of expecting this a little bit, and you can control this copy as well as the amount. So that's really our point of view on it. Activate it because you're going to recoup some of the cost back, but do so in a way that's meaningful to your donors and makes sense to your audience. So that's there too. Notably, or just sort of a point of clarification here on this content below, this is just our own content that we put in, not part of the onboarding features, but it's a way for us to make the experience, again, sort of a little bit more engaging as I go through and create my page. So I'm going to continue on there. We're going to breeze through review, process the payment, and here we are now on the success page. Now we talk a lot about the importance of the success page as a vehicle for stewardship, right? I've just signed up. I'm extremely enthusiastic. I'm sort of at the emotional peak of my engagement with you, other than maybe like the event day itself, or actually, performing whatever talent in this case it is that I want to be doing. But I'm really amped up. I'm really excited. I want to get involved. From the other way, if I'm a donor, we talk again a lot about this. I've just made a donation. I've got those warm and fuzzies. I'm buzzing from my contribution. This is your opportunity to share your thanks, first of all, build a deeper connection with them that hopefully extends beyond just the gift. And then here, obviously, encourage them to take actions towards whatever it is that they're looking to do for your mission. And so onboarding here is where we're really driving and trying to leverage that captivity that they have with the page, along with the energy and buzz that they have from creating the page for you. So we'll get into those changes in a second, but I do want to talk about this content because we do talk quite a bit about the importance of customizing this and making your own, and speaking to a donor or a supporter in a way that does help sort of drive connection with you and between you and them. So if you have taken the time to customize these pages, great. First of all, it's awesome, but you may wish to revisit it or at least review it in advance of these features activating. Again, as you'll see, we're going to be directing folks through some key steps to create their page. If you haven't updated it, this is very similar to what you will see on the success page. Less this little watermelon, will be replacing that with a different icon. I've actually updated it just for this campaign, but the end page would look very much like this. Title that reads exactly this way, as well as copy in here that speaks to sort of the journey and what they're about to see as they go through the onboarding process. Now, if you are one of the folks that have personalized this, we're going to be making this default copy available in both English and French. So if you like it, you want to take it or tweak it, just grab it from the Help Center and pop it into the success pages as you see fit. Obviously, the more custom, the better. You're going to be able to, again, draw that connection with the fundraiser and maybe offer a little bit of instruction, perhaps, as they go through the flow. Now, let's go back into our fundraiser seat. I've just created the page. Now, what do? Well, if I scroll past that friendly message, we are now kickstarting, or more aptly, super starting my campaign by way of these enhanced onboarding steps. Now, I should say, these are all born out of empirical evidence. We are following the data, be it our own, be it published in the academic literature or things that we're seeing in the industry in the space that's published, white papers, etc. But a lot of these are probably pretty intuitive to you as professional fundraisers, and the correlations there between engagement and ultimate fundraising results. So the first step is to complete my fundraising page. That is adding a little profile photo and sharing here why I'm fundraising through my story and title. These two things go a long way in establishing a connection between myself as the fundraiser and you with the cause. That might be educational. I'm sharing this with a friend or someone in my network. Maybe it's not super familiar with what you do as an organization. This page can be used to educate them. But more effectively is to draw an emotional connection between myself, my peer who I'm sharing the page with, and that cause. So sharing a picture of me reminds me of who I'm giving to by way of you and your cause, as well as a little bit of a story that tells me why I should give. What you're seeing on screen are defaults, right? This is whatever you've established through the personal page, but I can modify it myself with that photo, with my own story. And in turn, it also shows to whomever is visiting this page that I'm committed to the cause. I've taken the time to actually update this. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to upload an image from my desktop here. Now, if I were doing this from mobile, we would be pulling photos off of our camera roll. So it is fully mobile responsive, as with the rest of the solution. So there we go. We've added the photo. If you notice below, here's a couple of friends here that have also added photos. That's just generic content, but with a true stat here. And then down below, I can also update my page, maybe add in awesome. And then we also have the default content here. I'm not going to make a ton of modifications here, though I certainly could. And just bold and italicize that. There we go. Now I can move along here, save, and head to my next step. There we go. So on the next page, I've customized my personal fundraising page. Now let's go ahead and, as it says here, let's spread the word. So I'm just going to make a couple of changes. We have some default content here that I can leverage as part of that share. So I can take this. There's my personal link right there. I can copy all this text and bring it over wherever I want to, be it a text if I'm on my phone, be it a Facebook post, be it an Instagram story. I can copy that. It's going to be on my clipboard. I can use it however I want. We also have down below some quick shares to a few key networks, so Facebook, X, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, and then again another copy link just for good measure, so I can grab that and put it elsewhere and disseminate and get the word out about this campaign that I've just joined and personalized. By way of that, I'm now getting the word out, I'm customizing my page, and I have onboarded, and hopefully I've received a couple of donations in the very near future. What there also is down here at the bottom is a opportunity to check out the tools in the fundraising portal. This here is just a link to the participant center, and we've included a few cards here around what they can expect once they log in. We have, just for public facing purposes, rebranded this to the fundraising portal versus participant center. Not that it really matters, but if you do have participant center referenced elsewhere, might be an opportunity just to change that for consistency. It will be referenced here. And then, of course, once they're in there, they can leverage that robust tool set for things like email follow-ups, tracking site visits, managing their team, adding even more to their personal page. But this gets folks off to a really great start and engaging their donors with the cause, and then they can use that participant center to go through in even more depth to get the word out and raise funds for the campaigns that is you've got going this peer-to-peer season. So it's a great start, perhaps a super start, and we're hoping here that this video gets you super excited about the super starter that we have coming to the peer-to-peer module. Thanks.